Split Fiction is a co-op game, which means you need a friend to play with. Most of my friends are hardcore FPS gamers, so I had a little convincing to do to get someone to play with me. It still hurts when I sit on my chair. But the real question is Split Fiction peak? Does sharing a single brain cell between two human beings as you attempt to solve puzzles sound amazing to you? Then yes, this game is peak. No, but seriously, what exactly is it that makes Split Fiction worth playing? Is it the high-octane action sequences that give you the perfect dopamine rush and keep you craving for more?
I've never been in a fight before.
What were you expecting? We're cyber ninjas.
Is it the abilities and the way they interact with the environment to help you move around and explore the world? This one is easy, just use your abilities.
Nice.
Or maybe you just love seeing stuff explode. Because, trust me, there are a lot of explosions. But jokes aside, the really neat part about Split Fiction is that you can never really predict what the game will present you next. This gives the game a very fresh feel throughout the playthrough, since no two levels feel the same. For example, in a specific level, you get to play as two balls which are used to navigate the terrain and solve puzzles. That is cool. But in no way did I imagine that I will end up boss fighting a bigger ball as two smaller balls inside a pinball machine to prove that size does not matter. Okay, maybe that wasn't the intended message, but you get the point. Speaking of boss fights are fairly challenging and not just a snooze fest. It's not Dark Souls level challenging, even though the game references Dark Souls, triggering my PTSD.
Rest here, weary traveler, for great adventures lie.
But you still need a certain level of coordination between the players to defeat the boss. But if you are playing with someone who has never played these games before, then you might be looking for a new friend by the end of the game. The story in Split Fiction alternates between sci-fi and fantasy, so you get to experience the different stories that Mio and Zoe had written at some point. Each story that you play through offers some personal insight on how Mio and Zoe are as human beings. Mio's stories are often more darker in tone due to her personal circumstances, whereas Zoe's have this bright, cheerful tone, but you get the feeling that it hides something more sinister behind it all. So you get to play a range of different characters, from cyber ninjas trying to take down a crime syndicate, to Donkey Kong and Groot attempting to murder chicks. Within these main stories, there are side stories that are always of the opposite genre. The side stories is where the devs really flex their skills, because they could make whatever the hell they wanted, and they really made whatever the hell they wanted.
3, 2, 1, go! Attack formation!
The one that felt the most creative was the Notebook side story, where Zoe will make changes to the story on the fly and thereby influencing the level design.
We reached the bottom of the cave. Everything goes dark.
Overall, Split Fiction really pushes the boundary of what you can experience inside of a video game. It has a little bit of everything and so much more that you can discover, like gambling. And the way it gets executed, combined with the visually appealing graphics and incredible soundtrack, just makes it that much more appealing. If this isn't peak fiction, then it might as well be the closest thing to it.
Hey, could you please...
Oh, yikes. Did we just... Yup. But it sounded like they would have taken care of that themselves anyway.